Hello, I'm Shannon, and I'm a senior research operations specialist. I've been working in research operations for over 5 years now, and I've worked in all different types of projects with all different requirements. And in case you're wondering, outside of work, I love to pet dogs, eat spicy food, and experience the outdoors. But I'm not talking about that today. Today, I'm going to share some tips about how to start with specialized participant recruitment processes. So you want to recruit in a new way, but you're not sure what to do. Well, I'm here to help. When I say specialized recruitment, I mean recruitment processes that you may not always be doing on a regular basis or just new and unfamiliar to you. It could mean diversity in audience, accessibility, or other types of inclusive research, or you could be doing research in unfamiliar cultures, or maybe these participants are internal employees or B2B recruits. Or all the participants are familiar, but the methodology is different. Maybe you want to do an intercept recruitment process and you've never done research on the spot. There are all different types of recruitment processes that you could be exploring, but your current processes aren't suitable. Well, then hopefully these following 3 tips can help you get started tackling your next project. So to start, I always say to make a plan. Give yourself a longer timeline than your familiar research processes take, and take time to consider aspects of recruitment that you might not have before. Because let's face it, things are going to be complicated. You're going to have to spend some more time planning and linking and thinking through your project. Why not set yourself up for success? So there's the original plan I just told you to make. It's golden, literally, but while important, it looks a little lonely there, right? Because not everything is going to work. Participants aren't going to show up, your new methodology falls apart, or maybe you reach out to the entirely wrong audience. That's okay. That's why you plan for extra time and a backup plan. What I mean by this is outside of the original plan, you can do things like make room for adjustments and requirements, having less screener questions, doubling the recruitment lead time, having extra backup participants, alternate interview days, or generally anything that you can stretch to complete the project goal. I always say to over-communicate with stakeholders, participants, partners, anyone during these processes, just in case, to set expectations for the project. People are generally understanding as long as you let them know. After all, you want to make sure your stakeholders understand how much more complicated something like recruiting beekeepers who like pizza in the middle of the ocean might be, if you find yourself in that situation somehow. So the second tip is to look into and leverage your network and relationships. Be scrappy, do a little research around you. You'd be surprised at how much you already know or have access to. Your network is deeper than you think. You probably already have solutions that you're not aware of or have a starting point already. Don't be afraid to ask around, your research peers, the internet, anyone else who might have done this obscure thing you're going to do. Maybe you'll even find out it's not really as obscure as you think. You can try talking to marketing folks, country managers, your friends outside of work even. Someone else could know something along the lines of your recruitment. You don't always have to go through recruitment agencies or participant databases. For example, I work frequently with accessibility research, and participants are often harder to find, or they're repeat participants or have had other situations that aren't ideal. So what we've done is started to reach out to nonprofit organizations, groups who are very familiar with the participants but very unfamiliar with user research, and we guided them to assist in the role of agencies in recruitment. Or to reach delivery couriers and countries our teams were less familiar with, we connected with country managers who were both familiar with the country cultures and had control over their courier schedules and could directly slot in an interview during their shifts. Something we wouldn't have been able to do, we wouldn't have been able to control or do without them. These are all invaluable resources that I wouldn't have been able to do with a typical recruitment process. You can't find people if you don't ask. So start first with what you have around you. Surprise yourself. Lastly, remember to adjust the remaining logistics accordingly. Don't forget about the rest of the process. You might think that the hard part of specialized participant recruitment is finding the participants themselves, but that's sometimes just the beginning. Maybe You might think that this is the only part of the process that needs to be adjusted, that once you have the right participants, the rest will come smoothly. So the chart kind of looks like this for you. But actually, it might look something more like this, where you have plenty of other parts of the process that need to be adjusted too. So continuing on the accessibility research example, yes, reaching the participant is already a challenge, but now you have to understand that you're now working with sensitive data, like medical data, so you need to be compliant with laws around that. And also maybe their assistive technologies won't be as compatible with your video conferencing software, so you need an alternate option. Then at the end of the study, they can't access the incentives either because the card is in an incompatible format like PDF. Suddenly, you have multiple new things to accommodate for, and I'm sure you'll encounter plenty more things that I haven't even mentioned. But that's okay. That's why you budgeted extra time from tip 1 to figure things out, right? Like I said, it's important to remember that specialized participant recruitment involves all the pieces of the pie, and acquiring the participants is just the start. So make room for the rest. And with these 3 tips, I hope I gave you some good places to start with for specialized participant recruitment. But I do want to add one more thing. If there's a case that you've exhausted everything you can, just know that you can always say no to a request or ask for an adjustment. Plans change, participant requirements aren't always the same, stakeholders want different things, so why can't you ask for change as well? In the end, if you realize that this recruitment is just a bit too difficult or requires too much effort, don't worry, you can always have a conversation about it. Maybe there are areas that you can change, or in the end, not all projects work out, and that's okay too. Don't let this change whether you proceed with specialized participant recruitment in the future. And yes, there is so much more that you can do to prepare for the recruitment process, but this is a start. The world is constantly changing, and so will your research priorities. Don't panic. This won't be the first time you'll have to adapt, and it won't be the last, but at least the next time you will have a formula to begin any type of research and can adjust from there. The more you do it, the easier it gets, and I hope this encourages you to seek out more specialized recruitment projects in the future. Thank you so much for your time, and once again, I'm Shannon Liu, and please reach out if you have any questions. I'm always curious about new recruitment challenges. Thank you.